Goodies, goodies, goodies.
You gotta get a list for this stuff. Oh, well that's a dummy move. They got Lego Ninjago. Yeah, they don't have.
Deixa eu ver se tem. Vamos olhar lá embaixo.
That joke one is right. See that joke one is up. Not this one.
Yeah, where the assault rifle.
Yeah. Oh, the daughter. The daughter.
But you have one.
Really?
I don't see camera either.
As far as the Goonies comics go, no. And the most things I think that we had was Funko from it, but I'm
No,
pretty
it's
sure
only
we were sold out.
Like all they got is I have Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, no, we were
That
sold out.
makes sense. I have Legends of the Comic Con background.
No.
And a fold out poster of Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
Okay, and you?
Nothing to be too upset about this.
Ja, was der Bill keine mehr aus dem
I feel like there is, I just haven't seen it.
You know,
Pretty sure there is, I just haven't.
let's be this way. Last time, when I was on vacation, when we were in the first one, all week, and it was so much better. I was like, wow, so this was not that, this year had every, project so big and, you know, it was like, breath of fresh air. Yeah, not that,
That
not
never
to know what antics he was up to, or whatever else.
Oh, well, didn't make
Oh.
me mad, but he did say,
what's his name? Robert Pattinson?
what was it? Yeah, he called
Really?
Gavin
Why?
Newsom, Gavin Newscum.
Okay. I would be like, right, baby.
That's what Gavin Newsom did.
No.
He embraced
That's
the
right.
title.
Yeah. Like, you know,
Train, like a railway that connects all of California together.
okay.
And it will be funded by taxes. And he said that the collection was projected to make off of that because if it goes to other to San Diego, the money that they'll make from that, everything will immediately recover.
The whole problem is with California is like, wait, no, you can't go here. There's an endangered ant. You know, there's an endangered piece of dirt here. So that's the problem with California. They're just like so crazy. They have rules about everything. You know, there's a sacred arrow over here. You can't breathe this. You know.
He's from California.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What are we talking about? Gavin is someone
I'm
the
not.
railway.
Yeah, that's been. We've been talking about that.
The rail line.
Yeah.
That I was saying to you, like, yeah, they can get it done.
I mean, they've been talking about this for like decades now.
Yeah. It's like Bill Maher wanted solar in his house, and it literally took like, he was on his show and he actually kept a date. It took him like 3 years to get inspections for a shed that was like 5 by 5 and had to be built a certain way, a certain material, a certain this, certain that. It's like, Jesus, you guys are a little nutso.
We have a
So-
saying in California that, I mean, between Silicon Valley, Hollywood, and all these big major wealthy centers in California, you think that California would have a lot of these nice things, but it doesn't show its wealth because it's governed so poorly.
What's actually amazing is that as bad as people can point shit out, saying California this, California that, California, you know, like you're completely idiots. You're still 40% of freaking, you know, GDP that is contributed that all the other states
Yeah.
get. Just like we're like 35%, New York City or New York. So it's like, it's amazing between two completely failed states, as they say about it, they produce 75% of the money that is then distributed to all these other states, like Kentucky. You know, that they send $1 and get back 4. You know, so I like being a failure. You know, I can live with that.
I guess that's a positive way to look at it. Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, you can't even learn from our catastrophes. As bad as the subway is, it moves millions of people every day. You know, so we've obviously done something, somewhat right. You know,
And I'll say, like, California, the public transport system is nowhere close. It's nowhere close to what we have.
No.
What we have.
I mean, it was what LaGuardia tried to do here. He tried to make everything cars. So he defunded the subway line so that by the 80s and 90s, that thing was falling apart. You know, and they had to build it back. So we kind of headed in that direction. You guys just never, I mean, you just got land.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
so much. It's just,
Yeah,
you have
you're
to
just
drive
like-
everywhere.
Yeah, that's why all the buildings are so low. It's like, we don't need to build tall. Why do we need to do that? Yeah. I mean, I think probably the footprint of Los Angeles compared to the footprint of New York City is like probably 3 to 4 times. Because, you know, just everything is flat.
Yeah. I mean, like, you have cities like San Diego where you still have these huge tracts of marshland that haven't been developed yet. Whereas in a place like this, that'd be eaten up in an instant and be developed.
Back then, yes, marshlands, you don't want to just, that's what they did here. You know, that's like, usually marshlands are estuaries. They actually are like breeding grounds for the fish and everything else.
Yeah.
So you can keep the populations going. So
Which is
you
why
want,
they preserve them.
so you want to do this, like, people don't realize, but the Hudson River, that's an estuary.
Yeah.
You've got the salt and the fresh coming together, and that's where like sea bass go to mate and breed, and the small fish stay there before they head out to sea, typically. So, yeah, you're right. Without knowing it, they would have developed it and everything. Now they're probably going to be more hands-off. There's some place like Arcadia or something where their whole way of taking care of their waste, what they would call black water, which is like it comes from your toilets and everything, is they put it through an estuary, and like it starts out here, and by the time it flows and gets out there, it's clear because you got all this stuff, like in like the bays here. Yeah, like the bays here, the dirty water comes in, you don't realize that all the clams and mussels and everything else, that's food to them.
Yeah, don't filter that.
They filter that out, by the time it goes back out, it's clean. So.
I mean, just like, I guess thinking about it from biological history perspective, like this like biological waste stuff's been around thousands of years, and the earth has natural ways to recycle, get rid of that, purify it, and make sure that it has ways of renewing, I guess you would say.
Yeah, well, just like you got all these aquifers.
Yeah, as long as we choose to keep those.
Well, I'm saying everything went through the limestone. Anything that was bad got taken out.
Yeah.
So the only way things can get bad down there is if they do fracking or something like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the danger of everything. And I'm going to be back. So I got to go get my next batch.
All right.
Right.
I reminded him that. I mean, at this point, it's like, okay, like Trump did it, so bad, but I don't know, people. Californians are always No. California is a place where constantly a lot of people who there are poor people that want the government to do things to help the poor people. They don't do. And the middle class people that are starting to do well, they just like pummel them down as soon as they start getting on it. So I don't think anyone really likes that. Because I mean, if you're the governor of California, you're governing SoCal, you're governing Bay Area, you're governing NorCal, you're governing Central Valley.
You're governing like so many culturally different areas.
Because the culture in the Bay Area is very different from the culture in LA. And the culture even in San Diego to LA is very different.
Yeah, and they're like what, like 3-4 hours away from each other?
Yeah, they're like, I'd say not too high.
Yeah, like dude, like to govern, and then you have to like think like, okay, well, because you think why? In like San Diego, it's super similar to like Anaheim.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
And stuff that like, and Silicon Valley is like some coffee database internal places.
Okay, I can find it.
Silicon Valley is a portion of the Bay. The other is concentrated on Palo Alto and San Jose, where all of the big tech companies are.
Right. That's where I feel like I know. That's where I grew up.
I grew up, if you want to know exactly where I grew up in Santa Clara County, San Jose, California. I grew up actually right next to one of the wafer chip factories. My dad used to work at AMD there.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And, well, eventually they moved out of the actual engineering of the semiconductors and they moved to other stuff like supply chain and recruiting and all this other kind of stuff. They had kind of a diverse diversity. But once they had to leave, they were like, yeah, I guess we're settling downtown. Yeah, this is where we're going to be. Moving around with the kids stuff and the shit up here. I feel like yeah, they're happily married. No signs of unhappiness. So they're like a really rare case where like my dad's like 60 and my mom's like 59. They're happily married. There's never been a case of cheating. I mean, they fought a few times, but it was never like serious chatter of like divorce or anything like that. Yeah, so they kind of really got to do serious stuff. They're also both first generation immigrants from different places in the world. They met at UCLA in grad school, and then they actually have this touching love story to save apart. It's actually true that my dad he was doing a PhD in material science to become a semiconductor engineer. He graduated with my mom, and my mom had basically like done all the work to get her PhD. All she had to do was defend her dissertation, which is this final thing where you have to basically present about your research and defend the results. And then that's the last step you get the degree. But it was 6 months until that would happen, and she couldn't stand being apart from him for that long, and she actually didn't stay to get her PhD degree. She technically didn't graduate, even though she did all the work for it. And did she ever regret that? No, not really. Because she still had a very successful business career. Oh, of course. They ended up moving first, I believe, to Colorado Springs, where my dad got a semiconductor job at TSMC when it was still around. And then after that, I forget where they went to work. They moved to Oregon. Then Oregon, Washington for a bit, like West Coast, Washington State. And then they came back to California, back in California. And that's so California. Yeah.
I have a couple of Starfire ones.
Especially because it sounds like they're just doing the work on
Yeah.
They retired. They tried it for a bit. And they didn't like it, so they went back to work. They're still working. Yeah, they're still working.
G.I. Joe. It's a pretty cool G.I. Joe. I said like first generation. Yeah, that's first generation. Really good.
For the kids.
For the kids. Why is that?
Hey, you want a rival figure? Spider-Man.
That's not my network. That's their network.
I was wondering when I know this. I've seen them a lot.
This competition on the pizza. And up to this point, they're doing a good job.